This is a Ferrograph recorder test set Mark II. Just a quick video to demonstrate the wow and Flutter drift capabilities. So at the moment, to do that, it compares a fixed frequency of about 3.1 kilohertz, which it outputs here, visible on the scope. Top right hand corner there, 3.0967 kilohertz, and it compares that with the input frequency here. So basically what you do is you do this on a tape recorder, you make a tape using the 3.1 kilohertz signal, then you play it back into the input here, and it would compare the playback signal with the fixed 3.1 kilohertz signal. So any drift or wow and flutter from that fixed frequency would show up on the meter here. So at the moment I've got I'm cheating a bit because I've got an input rather than from a tape recorder. I've got it from a signal generator up here. It's an HP signal generator, and it's outputting about 3.099, near enough 3.1 kilohertz. So the input frequency and the reference frequency, 3.1 kilohertz, are almost identical, within 2 or 3 hertz. So if I now vary the input signal frequency on the signal generator up here, if I wind it down, the meter goes down, and I put it higher, the meter reads higher. So any drift from the nominal 3.1 kilohertz will show up on the meter here. So a slow drift would be sort of incremental like this, and wow and flutter on the tape would show up as a sort of a consistent signal at the percentage of wow and flutter. So at the moment it's set on drift, so this is a slow drift from the fixed signal, and then you can measure full scale deflection of 1%, 0.3% and 0.1% wow and flutter. And that's it. It seems to be working just great. I've cleaned this setup, I've tested all the functions on it, and it's working very well. The oscillator section is working really well, the millivolt meter section is working really well, it's fully calibrated, distortion measurements are working well, and the wow and flutter is now working well. The only fault that was really on this, apart from a little adjustment needed on the calibration, was the attenuator section of the oscillator output. The 6 attenuator resistors were all well out of tolerance, one by 500%. So I couldn't get the outputs to calibrate properly. But now I replaced those resistors with ones out of a parts unit I have, and that had accurate resistors in it. So I swapped them out, and this has now got the accurate resistors in, and the attenuator is working fine. So there we go, Ferrograph RTS-2 tape recorder test set.